morning, dear people of the internet, and welcome to the dread of Sunday night, the stress that comes with the start of a new week. Well, luckily it's the holidays now, and you might not have to deal with that, except the new year start next year. And the Sunday scaries, as the internet calls it, might be amplified a million times because of New Year's resolutions, of course. I'm sorry for that, let's pretend it didn't happen. Lucky for us, there's a lot of advice on the internet for how to deal with this, and internet advice is always great. That was sarcasm, but maybe this time will be different. Before we get into that advice, I do have a short public service announcement. You can help me a lot by subscribing to my channel, which is completely free, and you will get notified when I post a new video so you can watch it, which would also be very helpful, if you like my videos, of course. So if you could do that, that would be great. So thank you for that. Now let's get started. To really use this advice, we first need to know what we're dealing with exactly.
What? Hey, who are you? I wanted to remind you that you have a meeting at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. God, why do you always show up at 3 o'clock on a Sunday? You might get fired, and then your family would leave you, and then everyone would probably just die after that. Are you done? Yeah, no, I also wanted to tell you that you are... Oh my God, dude. Your boss is mad. What the hell, dude? He's mad that you didn't do the thing with Glenn. Okay, if I spend 20 minutes doing it right now, will you go away? Maybe. Okay, I did the thing. Can you leave now? Dude, go. Now Glenn is mad at you. Oh my God.
So the Sunday scaries are basically your brain intruding your personal space with unwanted thoughts on a Sunday evening or afternoon related to school or work stress. I have to confess something, I don't deal with this. Well, I do, but not specifically on Sunday night. If that disqualifies me from judging this advice, too bad. I do have ADHD, and these spirals of unwanted thoughts of stress related to my life basically happen a lot, but at any time and not specifically on a Sunday night. It's always a fun surprise, but this advice will specifically be for Sundays. TikTok people have come up with something called the Sunday reset to combat the Sunday scaries. A Sunday reset looks something like this.
I am not wasting my last day of the weekend on Sunday scaries. So here's the ultimate Sunday reset formula. To set yourself up for the best week ahead. Before we do anything, we are going to run the dishwasher. So by the end of the night, all the dishes are clean. Then we are going to head to the grocery store in a very simple casual outfit, because it's cold and dark at 5 p.m. now. At the store, you're going to grab anything you need for the week and everything you need for dinner tonight. And don't forget to grab a fun drink. Once we get home, the apron goes on. Cozy cooking playlist is on. It's all about curating the most peaceful vibes this evening. Something I always say I want to do during the week is cook an actual recipe. Not just eating random combinations of protein and veggies from the fridge, but following something to a T and making something new. I always get so excited and motivated to cook more. Tonight I made a white chicken chili because I've really been craving a soup. It was super easy to make, and I watched one of my favorite comfort movies, If You Get It, You Get It. And by the end of dinner and my movie, the dishes were done. An empty dishwasher makes my brain feel clean. I can't describe it. Now for part 2 of our reset, we enter the bedroom. First things first, we need a cute matching pajama set for the vibes. A matching PJ set just makes me feel so much more chic and put together. I'm a big fan of treating every night in like a sleepover, even if I'm alone. So cute PJs, a movie, a face mask, it all makes me feel much more excited for the cozy vibes. Life planning does make the Sunday scaries feel a little bit less scary. On my iPad, I start planning out what I'm gonna wear this week, what I'm gonna eat, what content I'm gonna make, and then I get the planner out and think about how I'm spending my time outside of work this week. Any dinner plans, things I RSVP'd to, and then I do some more content work, planning, editing, and if I'm not too tired, I'll read a chapter of my book, and that's my ultimate Sunday reset.
I want to preface my own ideas about this by saying that if this works for you, that's great. However, I do have a few issues with this video. The first issue I have is the first sentence of the video, which is, I'm not wasting my last day of the week on the Sunday scaries. I really understand not wanting to feel bad, but if you feel bad, which we all do from time to time, you need to address it. That's not wasting time. I don't think you can waste your day on the Sunday scaries. If it's really that bad that it just makes you sit around all day and do nothing out of a paralyzing fear or anxiety that you have for going back to work the next day, you at least have learned that something is really wrong and you need to change something. Now, a huge part of this video is self-care related, and the creator of the video said that the day has to be chill. And I appreciate that a lot. I think rest is very important on days like these, and I'm happy the creator pointed that out. But then she proceeded to plan the entire week in her bed, right before going to sleep. Again, if that works for you, it's great. But planning is work, I think, and even though you're just planning your personal week, which this person is not only doing, by the way, but even if you're just planning your personal stuff, you're still thinking about work and how that fits into your week, your energy levels throughout the work week. And this person is also a content creator who is planning their content in this video at this moment, and they have over 100,000 followers on this TikTok account, so we can assume that they make money in one way or another from this account. That doesn't have to be true, but I think it's a fair assumption. And that makes it in fact work. So this is working in bed on a Sunday night. I've heard many times that working in a chill space, especially in your bed, is not a great idea because your brain starts to associate the chill space that you're meant to only relax in with work, which can be stressful. And I experienced this myself too when I was trying to figure out how to do university work and plan and everything from my bed. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. In my experience, it can be really stressful to have all your appointments and deadlines floating around in your head, and writing them down always makes me feel a lot better. So planning is great. However, besides doing the planning in bed, the creator also does this right before going to bed. Sometimes she reads a few chapters if she has the energy, but that also implies that she sometimes does not do that. I know and about everyone I know sleeps worse when they have just been thinking about all they have to do the next week. Because even though I wrote all my tasks down for the week, it takes a while to process that. It's not an instant thing that it's just out of my brain onto the paper and all done now. I'm still thinking about it a little bit, you know? So it might be healthier to do this at the desk during the daytime, especially since this video is supposed to be general advice. It is titled The Ultimate Guide to Beating the Sunday Scaries, but it isn't helpful to most people that I know. It's not general advice, it's just what helps this creator with a title more favorable to the algorithm. So now it's framed as general advice that actually won't be healthy for most people. Sometimes creators go further than just sharing what they do to beat the Sunday Scaries, like this creator.
Here is the time-stamped Sunday reset routine that you will live by for the rest of your life. I don't know about you guys, but I can't sleep in past 8:30 anymore, so we're up at 8:30 and we're immediately putting our sheets in the wash. I know you don't want to, but just do it. You'll thank yourself later. In that time, we're brushing our teeth, we're washing our face, etc. 9 a.m. We're having breakfast, we're relaxing. It's still a Sunday. We need our relax time. Take an hour, do whatever you want to do. I love to watch YouTube vlogs. Maybe I read my book. Maybe I make a phone call. I just chill on my couch with my coffee. It's 10. We've had our little relax time. Now it's time to get out and get some movement in. Or go to a workout class on a Sunday, whatever you do. If you love to go on a walk, go on a really long one. Those steps in, get that movement in. It'll help with your Sunday scaries. Okay, we're back from whatever movement we did. And since we're already sweaty and a little bit gross, we're gonna clean. You're cleaning everything you haven't wanted to clean all week. So you're cleaning your floors, you're cleaning your bathroom, you're cleaning your toilet, you're cleaning your microwave, all the stuff that you don't touch during the week, clean that.
I need to make a really bad joke here. I don't know about you, but I touch my toilet during the week. I use it, otherwise I wouldn't need to clean it. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Let's move on.
Put your headphones on, put some good music on, zone out, and just get it done. You will feel so much better for the next week with a clean house. Also, when you're done with this, make yourself your grocery list. I shop and cook on Sundays, and it might be crazy. If you don't want to do that, X this part out. But 12:30 comes around, we've cleaned, we've walked, we're hungry. Lunchtime. After lunch, we're heading to the grocery store. I love a Sunday shop. I like to just kind of peruse, pick the ingredients that I like, and then once I get home, immediately start cooking whatever it is. I get whatever I can done out of the way. If it's a slow cooked meal, start cooking that now. If you just want to prep the ingredients for later, you can do that too. At this point, also, you should be taking your sheets out of the dryer, putting them back on your bed so you don't have to do it tonight at 10 p.m. when you're so tired. But at 4 p.m., we're gonna wrap up our cooking, and then you're gonna clean the kitchen. Now we're coming to the end of our day. Our chores are wrapping up. It's 5 p.m. We're getting in the shower. We're doing our evening everything shower. On Sunday, I'm taking an everything shower. I don't care. It's how I start the week.
You do care though, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. I want to point out these weird phrasings because they make me take this video less seriously, and it makes me feel like the creator isn't making these to actually help people with all the nonchalance going on, because people are really dealing with these feelings that are scary and need to change.
You should do it too. It'll make you feel so good and just like you're starting the week off on the right foot. 6 p.m. rolls around, we're prepping for Monday. So that means make a to-do list. Lower your stress levels by being realistic about what you have to do on Monday. Sometimes it can feel really daunting and you feel like you have a million tasks, but often when you write it down, it's a little bit less scary and you usually have a lot less to do than you think you do. Maybe you lay out your outfit. Maybe you do a workout class on Monday mornings. You lay out your outfit for that. Whatever you need to do to prep for Monday so it's less stressful, do that. 6:30, it's dinner time. Finally, we get to chill out, eat our dinner. Once 7 hits, we are done with our prep. We're done with our cleaning. We're done with everything. We can relax, watch a movie, sit on the couch. You can read, whatever you do to wind down. Maybe you have a hobby, maybe you knit. Once it hits 9 p.m., put your phone away, and go to bed. If this is your Sunday every Sunday, you will never have a bad Monday morning.
I don't know about you, but the sheer idea of following a time-stamped schedule on my day off is already stressing me out, and that's a problem. You see, the Sunday scaries are rooted in stress. The opposite thing of stress is relaxing. Therefore, I assume that we want to feel relaxed on a Sunday like this. Now, if we involve math in this, stress from the Sunday scaries plus stress from following a time-stamped schedule equals more stress. They don't cancel each other out and make you relax instead. That's not how life works. I wish it did. It would make life a lot easier. If it worked like that stress can cancel each other out, burnout wouldn't exist. But it does, so it doesn't work like that. Someone in the comments pointed out that this schedule only has 4 hours of planned relaxation. Now, we need to apply a little bit of more math. I'm sorry, I know, but a little bit of more math. In the schedule, you're awake for 12.5 hours. This means that this creator recommends spending more than 2/3 of your day on actively doing tasks. Now, let's compare this to a very generalized workday. You sleep for 8 hours, you work for 8 hours, and you have your own personal time for 8 hours. That makes 24 hours. For the 8 hours you're awake and not at work, you spend time cooking and cleaning, sometimes maybe doing groceries or commuting and getting ready in the morning. So let's take 2 hours for that. Some people have more time commuting, for example, so it takes longer. Some people have less time. I feel like 2 hours would be nice. So there's 10 hours in the day you're actively doing things, including the work. There's 6 hours of rest and 8 hours of sleep, which is 3/4 of your waking hours. Now we can conclude that the general working day and the Sunday scary schedule that we got from the video are not that far off in like how many hours you're actually spending on actively doing things and not relaxing. Like 3/4 and 2/3 are not that big of a difference, especially in this situation. Following such a strict schedule on a day you should actually be relaxing feels more like a distraction or a refocus of your stress than actually solving the problem. I understand that everything on this list is healthy, but you don't need to do an hour of movement, especially if you're already cleaning that day too, which is often physically intensive. That's just too much effort on a day you're supposed to be relaxing. If you find those things very relaxing, sure, do it, but a lot of people don't, and then this isn't helpful for those people. And for a lot of people, it might be helpful to spread the chores throughout the week, so you don't have to all do those chores that you do once a week on Sunday. I just don't think that this schedule is healthy for the majority of people. I found another video that takes the Sunday reset to yet another level.
6 things to do on Sunday for a more productive week. Number 6, do a mind detox. Negative thoughts, to-dos, and uncontrollable worries can take up a lot more brain capacity than we realize. Do a mind detox and organize your thoughts. Let go of what is no longer serving you and start the week with a fresh slate. Number 5, plan and prep your meals. A couple hours in the kitchen on Sunday can save you lots of time and keep your healthy eating in check during the week. Number 4, tidy up your space. A clear space equals a clear mind. Clean up your workspace, do your laundry, and start the week fresh. Number 3, activate a different side of your brain. If your Monday to Friday consists of deep work, crunching numbers, and sitting in front of a laptop all day, do the opposite. Get outdoors, unplug, and use a different side of your mind. If your Monday to Friday consists of heavy labor, constantly being on your feet, and lots of moving around, go slower. Have a picnic, read a book, and take it easy. Number 2, plan and schedule the week. What are 3 to 5 things you absolutely have to get done this week? When are you going to do them? And number 1, get quality sleep. Starting the week with poor rest can compound day over day for the remainder of the week. Practice proper sleep hygiene and get those hours in.
This is framed as a Sunday reset for a more productive week. I think this is a hot take in this situation, but I feel like you should be doing most of these things, like planning and setting goals and everything, on a Monday during work time, because it's work related in this case. And that should not be a hot take. I've had a very hard time learning myself that not everything I do should be productive. It's actually very good to relax and not be productive, but it's been very good for my soul to learn that. It makes me kind of sad to see that productivity culture and work essentially is taking up space in people's relaxation time. I absolutely love the feeling of being productive and making things and contributing to society, but you cannot do that well enough without taking enough space and time to rest and relax and not be productive. I also don't like that sleeping well is on this list. I would be the last person on earth to say that sleep isn't important. I absolutely absolutely love sleep. And I also think there are a lot of things you can do that make you sleep better, like having clean sheets and relaxing before you go to bed. But in the end, you cannot really control how well you sleep. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that the people that have the Sunday scaries and are stressed to go back to work also might be dealing with anxiety before going to bed and not being able to sleep because of that. I'm not sure if this connection exists, but it sounds like a logical connection that would exist for at least some people. I think the real key to having a productive week is taking some rest in your resting time. There, I said it. Of course, that probably includes things like tidying up your living space so you don't get annoyed all the time. But the majority of your relaxing time should be spent relaxing, whatever that is for you. And I also want to add that if you get anxiety about going back to work on Monday every Sunday evening, there is something going on. You're probably either dealing with the toxic work environment that makes you feel like this, or some issues that you need to see a therapist for. So either find a therapist or a new job. And if that's not a possibility, these Sunday resets are not going to help you either. You will need to find a way to relax, and this is not relaxing. For most people, if you find cleaning the most relaxing thing in the world, I'm not talking to you, but that's not most people. I did find a video that I find actually helpful for if you're dealing with these videos. So here is that video because you need to see it.
Do you get the Sunday scaries? That feeling of anticipation and anxiety and dread on a Sunday evening as you anticipate the week ahead? If so, you're not alone. Millions of people are affected by this. It's increasingly common. It used to be more known as the Monday blues, but now with home working and access to emails, it's increasingly being felt on a Sunday evening. If you do, what can you do about it? Well, the first thing is to realize you're not alone. This is very common. Maybe you can just acknowledge and accept it and just say, okay, here you are, Sunday scaries. I know you. Here you are again. I'm used to dealing with you. The next thing is it's more likely to get the Sunday scaries if you're more exposed to work over the weekend. So maybe you should limit your access to emails a little bit over the weekend. Maybe you need to reduce the amount you're thinking about work over the weekend. Then maybe think about what you do on a Sunday evening. Maybe you could plan something enjoyable or very cozy. Maybe there's a cozy TV program you could generally watch on a Sunday evening. Something that makes Sunday evening a little bit special can very much help. And then have a think about how you anticipate Monday morning. Maybe Monday morning is a morning to be phone free and not look at your phone until a little bit later once the day's got going. Maybe you could make sure the first thing you do on a Monday is not too stressful. And maybe most of all, you need to remind yourself that actually every week you do get through.
I absolutely love this video. It's nuanced. It's actually focused on dealing with these feelings instead of running away from them. And it's not framed as universally perfect advice. I have said it before and I will say it again. I absolutely hate internet advice. And the reason for that is that it's often framed as something that works for everyone whilst actually making the situation worse for most people if you really think about it. Like the ultimate guide to beating the Sunday scaries that we saw earlier. Instead, this creator puts these feelings in a broader context, which might make them feel less big, which is helpful. And then he just offers some suggestions that you can interpret in your own way that might be helpful. On top of that, these suggestions actually sound good. I want to see more of this in 2026, please. I genuinely believe that this kind of video, instead of the other ones we saw, might make the world a little bit better. Let me know in the comments how you beat the Sunday scaries. I'm curious to know. I often just play some games to distract myself and then actually chill in the meantime. Or I watch a show and I crochet or I knit. And I journal if they're really, really bad, but not for too long because then I overthink everything and that's also not too great. Just to get them out of my head, like the planning thing we talked about earlier. Thank you for watching. If you like my little video, please press the wonderful shiny like and subscribe buttons. And then I will see you next time. Ciao!